"I'll get it," Vicky said. I was watching Foreigner Bed, and it was the last episode. You know, the one where they all slag each other off face to face. So I wasn't missing that for someone trying to get me to switch electric door to door. Oh. "William, it's the police," she said. "Well, what do they want?" I said. "They've asked to speak to you," she said. "Well, what do they want to speak to me for?" I said. "I don't know. Have you done something wrong?" she said. "Of course I haven't," I said. "Will you just come and speak to them then?" So I said, "All right, I'm coming." I got up, I went to the front door, not having a clue why the police would want to speak to me.
"William Glossop,"
The officer said. "Yes, that's me," I said.
"can we come in?" he said.
"Why, have I done something wrong?" I said.
"Well, we can discuss that inside," he said.
"I've not done anything wrong." "Oh, unless you classed me pushing in the queue at Greg's last Thursday. And technically I wasn't pushing in. The woman in front of me was faffing with her purse, so I just sort of like went in front of her."
"It has nothing to do with Greg's. Now can we come in?"
"Oh, I suppose you're better out then," I said. "Come through." "Would you like a brew?" Vicky said. "Vicky, love, we pay enough in taxes for this lot to do their jobs. So we're not shelling out more by providing them with a cup of tea and a digestive," I said. "Do you know Charlotte Prothero?" he said. "Well, I don't think so. No, why?" I said. "Because she is missing," he said. "Missing? What do you mean missing?" I said. "What does missing usually mean?" he said. Oh, well, I didn't like his tone, so I took an instant dislike to him. Well, I said, I don't know her, so what's it got to do with me?" "She has been missing for 3 days now," he said, "and we found a letter at her house addressed to you saying she was going to get her own back for the way you had treated her. So she definitely knows you, sir." Well, his tone and insinuations were beginning to get my dander up.
"We also found this,"
he said, as he handed me an old photo. Well, it was an old photo. From the 70s, I would guess, by the flares and wing collar shirts the kids were wearing. I noticed that a girl and a boy had been circled in red felt tip. I recognised the boy straight away. "That's me," I said.
"And we are guessing that the girl is Charlotte Prothero," he
said.
"Now are you sure you don't know her?"
I put my glasses on and looked closely. "It's Charlotte Prothero," I said. Well, I felt like I'd been tricked, duped. You see, until that moment I honestly couldn't remember the name. You see, I hadn't seen her since the end of primary school when I was 11. So I felt sick because they'd be thinking I was trying to hide something, and I wasn't. "Will you please accompany us to the police station to help us with our inquiries, Mr. Glossop?" he said. "What? Now?" I said. "Yes," he said. "It's just that A Place in the Sun is about to start." "I suggest you record it, sir," he said. "Can't I wait till it's finished?" I said.
"You can either come now voluntarily,
"Or we can arrest you and then walk you out of your front door in handcuffs," he said. He had a smug tone to his voice, and I didn't want to give Stella over the road something to gossip about. I mean, walking out of here and getting into a police car was bad enough, but if I was in handcuffs, well, it'd be all over social media before the door had shut. So I reluctantly agreed. The journey was silent. Nobody said a word, and when we got there, they ushered me into a room and left me there for what seemed like forever, alone with my mind and my thoughts running riot. Eventually they came back in and sat down. They recorded everything. They asked me if I wanted to have a solicitor present. I said, "Why would I need a solicitor?" They said it was something they offered to everyone. And then he said, "You have the right to say no comment to any question we ask. Do you understand?" I said yes, but I didn't. It all got very real all of a sudden. It was like being inside one of those BBC crime dramas. Oh, I'm sweating really bad. I'm starting to smell a bit. Do you have a shawl roll on I can borrow? I said. Then the young one chirps up. Don't worry, sir, you have nothing to worry about. We had a fellow in here last week that shit himself. And did he have something to worry about? I said. Oh yes, he'd been mugging old ladies, he quipped, as if it was all a big joke. Except I wasn't laughing. Do you know this woman? The older one said, as he got a photo out of a file and placed it in front of me. Well, I stared at it, and I stared at it, terrified, because I knew exactly who it was. Do you know the name of this woman? He said. Yes, I managed to squeak. It's Lottie Rowe, I said in a broken, shaky voice.
Lottie Rowe? Charlotte Prothero? Are you still telling me you don't know her? He said.
I think you are putting 2 and 2 together and coming up with 4, he said. Well, at least a 4.5, I said. If they can be facetious, I thought, so can I. So, you only know her as Lottie Rowe, he said. Yes, I had no idea she was Charlotte from primary school, I said. Well, can you please tell me, how do you know Lottie? He said. Well, it's a bit embarrassing, I said. Well, can you try and get over your embarrassment and tell me in what capacity you know Lottie Rowe, he said. I had an affair with her, I said.